everybody. Thanks for joining me today. I am having a bittersweet moment here at Union Square Green Market. Sweet because this is such a wonderful time of year for all kinds of great fruits and vegetables, but bitter because the fruit that I'm in search of, which you see behind me, these wonderful little plums. And we call them Italian plums and prune plums. This kind of plum is a late summer harvest. So the thing is that when they're in the market, then you know that summer is over. So that's the bitter part. Now, here are the big ones. These are Empress or President. And if you can't find the little ones, here I've got them right next to each other so you can see the difference. So here are the little ones that we call Italian or prune plums, and then these are the larger ones, either President or Empress. Same kind of plum, you can use them totally interchangeably. So if you can only get the big ones, then just cut them into quarters instead of in half, and they'll work just great in your recipe, whether you're baking a cake or a tart or a compote or whatever it is. But as my first little goodbye to summer this year, I want to show you a wonderful plum cake, and if you'll come back to the kitchen with me, this is my take on a recipe that was first written by Marion Burroughs for the New York Times in 1981. And through the years, it has been their most requested recipe, and they've reprinted it over and over again so many times, and again this year, which made me think of it. So it's a wonderful cake. I like mine even better than the original, but you can find the original recipe also online with the New York Times. But come into the kitchen with me and let's see what we can come up with. Thank you. The first thing you'll want to do is to slice the plums in half lengthwise. So make sure you cut along that ridge on the side of each plum, and then you'll be right on the edge of the pit. So after you torque them open, you'll have the pit sitting in one side there, and you just pull that out with your finger, and there you have your plums halved. Now, I like to macerate them for about an hour to pull out some of the excess moisture so that they don't leave quite so much of a wet spot in the cake. So I would suggest that you take a quarter cup of sugar and about a tablespoon of spirits. It could be white rum, golden rum, Mirabelle plum eau de vie if you have it, that would be great, or some kind of brandy. But most things are compatible. So just stir those up, let it sit for about an hour, and then before you make the cake batter, you'll want to drain the plums, save that wonderful liquid, and mix the liquid into the cake batter. 350 is your oven temperature. For the pan prep, I would suggest that you cut the parchment round for the bottom a little bit bigger than the 9-inch bottom of your pan, and that way you're going to have a little more insurance against sticking. And if you're using a springform pan, then that little extra will help to seal up the pan on the bottom too, which is great. So grease, put in the parchment, grease, flour lightly, and invert the pan and knock out the excess flour. Here are our ingredients: our cup of all-purpose unbleached flour. You want to whisk a teaspoon of baking powder into that. And for your ingredients, do choose a good egg, something that is free range or organic, something that will have some flavor to it. Supermarket eggs have such pale yolks that they don't add a lot of flavor to a cake. So you got your butter, sugar, eggs. You want to cream those together until it's smooth and fluffy. You can use a hand mixer, you can use a stand mixer, you can use a rubber spatula. If the butter's soft enough, you can even use a whisk. And then of course you will add in the vanilla, the grated orange zest, and the salt. Of 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and you want to also add the liquid that was in the plums. Then you'll stir in your flour mixture, and that's the batter. So spread it into your prepared pan, and then you want to arrange the plums on top, cut side down, and arrange them in a nice pattern. Don't touch the outside edge of the batter though, and the plums should kind of not touch each other as much as possible. Baking time about 50 minutes, then let it cool. Take it out of the pan, dust it with a little confectioner's sugar. You can serve this cake with whipped cream, with unsweetened whole milk Greek yogurt, or how about ice cream, maybe vanilla, or how about cinnamon ice cream. That could be really delicious. The recipe for this cake is at brucebeckinthekitchen.com. I hope you will stop by and take a look. I hope you'll try it. I think you'll find this is a wonderful cake, and you don't have to serve whipped cream or ice cream with it if you don't want to. It's also delicious all on its own. So thanks for dropping by today. I hope to hear from you. Always a pleasure, and we'll survive even though summer is over. It's all good.